Hello, I'm Leslie Duthie with Misplaced Dolls and the Realm of Whimsy. For those of you who follow my doll making adventure, you may know my characters all have a story to tell. This podcast is going to be a magical Halloween treat of a story about the Nytemares of the realm, for they haven't always been horses of the Shadow King. So get comfy, have a cup of your favorite brew handy, and let's begin the tale of the Nytemares. Outies, they are the villagers that came when the wish dragons wished them to the land of the Fae. They are villagers who have been outside the realm of magic. Some of the most drastic things can happen from the utterance of one little sentence. It is a short sentence, but it has the power of magic. The sentence only contains 3 little words. Combine it with magical creatures, and the world can change in an instant. What is this powerful chant? Something most parents hear every day and are instantly on alert to what can come next. I am bored, uttered the youngest Fae as he sat and pondered what to do. There hasn't been anything fun to scare or anyone to help get lost on a path for ever so long, he grumbled. I know. Even dropping cones from the tree on the tree frog sound boring, said the second Fae. Yeah, I want something different to do too, added the third Fae, who was sitting on a large toadstool. Too bad there aren't any outies around. They are always fun to watch. You know that the outies aren't supposed to be in the shadow realms. That's why we moved here, to get away from them, replied another in the group of Fae. But I have to admit, it wasn't boring when they were around. The other sat and tried to think of something to do, but each time one of the Fae would offer something, the other thought it was not very interesting, and so they continued to sit and being bored. Finally, the youngest Fae smiled and piped up, I think I know what we can do. Let's spy on the outies. They have wonderful dreams and have such exciting colors that dance around them. That would be fun, maybe, and worth checking out. The third Fae jumped up from his toadstool and agreed. Yes, we can pop up and scare them and then disappear. No, we don't want to do that. King Hunter will get mad at us. We will have more fun if we're sneaky and can wear disguises. I once heard of the outies talk about a certain day each year. It is a day that they would share food with each other and wear disguises so others could not tell who they were. Well, why would they do that? Asked the second Fae. I don't know, answered the youngest Fae, but he said that it was so monsters and spirits, whatever they are, would not take them away. He said it always happens just on this one special day each year. He called it something like Samhain, whatever that means. They would sit around campfires and tell stories to try to scare each other. That's tonight. By now, all the Fae were enjoying the idea of spying on the outies and wearing disguises. This was the best idea they had come up with yet to not be bored. Finally, one of them asked, so what should we disguise ourselves to be? The youngest Fae, and there's nothing scarier than a bored Fae when a spark of inspiration strikes, said, let's all go as the same thing. That way they will really be confused when they see us. It will really boggle their minds if they see one of us just after they thought they just saw us somewhere else. I know just what we all can be. Before we left the village, an outie was telling me on how he missed his horse. I saw in his mind a 4-legged animal that looked just like it could be fun being. Shortly, all of the other Fae agreed and that this was a good idea. Since none of the others had a clue as to what a horse looked like, they all copied the youngest Fae when he changed. Soon a herd of horses, all black as coal, was running through the village. As they ran through the woods in the moonlight to reach the village, the oldest Fae reminded them all they needed to be back before the moon set, or the king of the shadows realm would know that they'd been out causing mischief and would not be happy about it. And you know what that means, he told them as he finished. The other Fae did indeed know what that meant. more boredom, and not being able to go out at night for fun for quite a long while. Soon the Fae were in the village, moving from campfire to campfire, anywhere that there were an outie gathered, so that they could listen to the tales being told. Some of the tales were about the outie's past and what they did before coming to the realm of whimsy, but not all. Some tales called the little outies to shriek and hide behind the older outie's cloak or under the arm of who they sat next to. Many times that night, these Fae heard an outie say that if there is another tale like the last one was told, they would have nightmares. The Fae did not understand what a nightmare was until one of the oldest outies said, "When you go to sleep tonight, little one, and start having a bad dream or a nightmare, then change it by telling it to go away." Soon the outie started to notice the horses. "I thought I just saw that horse outside one of the inns," one of the outies told another. "It couldn't have gotten over here so quickly, or stop talking like that, or you will be giving me nightmares," replied another one of the outies. The disguised Fae was beginning to think that this was the greatest idea of getting rid of boredom that they had ever had. "I wish we could be like this forever," one of the little Fae said out loud to himself as he watched the confused outie stare at him. How 3 little words can change the world. So can one. That is the word forever. Forever is a very long time, and anything that is forever can be both a blessing and a curse. As the Fae uttered forever, a wish dragon just happened to be listening. He was enjoying the tales that the outies were telling around a campfire, eating a moonflower, as the dragons loved eating them just like candy, and was in an extremely good mood. At that precise time, the Fae uttered forever. The wish dragon agreed. Remember, a wish dragon are very literal, and accidents do happen. This instant was no exception. The wish dragon's magic surrounded each of the disguised Fae and forever changed them. But the Fae did not yet notice the change. Only a young Fae who had stayed behind in the village when the others left for the Shadow Realm had been watching the horses and saw the dragon's magic. Soon the night was almost over and the moon was starting to set, so the Fae began their return home. "Don't change from being a horse until we get back," shouted back the third Fae. "That way, if anyone sees us, no one will know it was us." As they passed through the mist at the entrance to the Shadow's realm, one of the disguised Fae suddenly had an urge and picked up a moonflower. Before he realized it, he was slowly nibbling on the flower and enjoying the taste. Now, moonflowers get their name from blooming only in the light of a full moon. Anyone, Fae or beast, gets a little moony and sleepy. Only dragons are known not to be affected by the flowers. When the other Fae saw that one of them was eating the flower, they were all shocked. "Are you really eating a moonflower? Are you crazy?" asked the first Fae. "You are going to fall asleep and Hunter will catch us." The Fae, still chewing on the flower, just shook his head and told the others, "It tastes so really good." Soon the Fae realized that they had been watching the one eat the flower for so long that they forgot to change back from being horses to the Fae they were before the night started. When they tried, nothing happened, and they kept trying to change. They heard a noise in the trees and quickly thought that the king must have caught them. Maybe this was what was stopping them from changing. Out of the bushes came the young village Fae who had followed them into the Shadow's realm and was now staring at him. "Nice horsey," he said as he touched one of their noses. It was at this point that the king did appear. "I know where you have been and what you have done, you bunch of silly pukas," said the king. "A wish dragon heard your desire and answered it." "What do you mean, your majesty?" asked one of the Fae. "What desire?" "You wish for things to remain this way forever. In doing so, each of you will remain in this shape forever." "Nice horsey," the village Fae said again as he touched one of their manes. When the horses stepped away, the village Fae started to get mad and his face turned crimson red. He did not scream or holler. He just stood there looking at the horses until another one came nearer and he could again touch the horse's mane. It looks like you have made a new friend, the king told the Fae. Since you left the shadow realm and were at the village listening to their scary stories, this is something I cannot change back. Enjoy your time as horses, as you will have this shape for a very long time to come. Tonight, the Audis may have their own nightmares, but now you are my nightmares, smiled the king. King Hunter then took the hand of the young village Fae and said, Scarlet, come with me, for now you will learn how to take care of your new friends. For yes, the king knew who he was, and that even though Scarlet was known to have a quick temper, the king knew he would take good care of his new nightmares. As for the nightmares, the youngest looked to the others and then shook out his mane. Let's go for a run. The night is still young, he said as he raced off to the fields. It has been said that the nightmares became the dark, mysterious, shadowy creatures that, if you didn't behave, would take you away on a wild run to never be heard of again. But it's also whispered on the wind that the nightmares were never bored again. If you like this story and like to learn more about my characters and their adventures, click the link to my website mentioned in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe in order to not miss out on any new adventures.